Well, I was pretty excited to get this email the other day. This is from Apogee. Native versions of Apogee FX plugins are now available. This is pretty cool because previously we have been using the effects rack, which is great. Oh my gosh, I mean it's awesome. But if you have experienced this, maybe you have where you have several instances of the effects rack, and you go back through your tracks and maybe one's a compressor, one's an EQ, or something like that. Um, you know, for me, it's nice to be able just to look at the track and to know what I have as far as plugins opened on that track. So that's nice to be able to see that as just at a glance, and then not to mention it's just a little bit more streamlined. There's no additional interface required. So I'm pretty sure there are a lot of users that were asking for this, and yeah, thanks Apogee for that. So let's check these out a little bit. So this is just what Apogee has to say about it. If you haven't seen the email, um, Apogee FX plugins run in AU, VST, AAX formats in any compatible DAW on Mac OS with no Apogee hardware required. This release includes all of Apogee's current plugins, the Pultec EQP1A, Opto 3A, Mod EQ6, Mod Comp, and the new Pultec MEQ5. Superior sound quality. I mean, absolutely, these things sound great. And this is a little bit about the FX rack and the dual path monitoring. Okay. Um, I've done another video on the dual path. I won't get into that too much, but if you're using the effects rack and you have an ensemble or an element interface, there's some DSP processing in those interfaces that allow you to offset or offload the CPU processing to a DSP chip in the interface, and you can run these plugins on your DSP. So let's just read what this says. Apogee FX plugins offer unprecedented flexibility when processing at any point of your workflow. Open individual Apogee FX natively in your DAW with your Apogee interface connected. Create your favorite Apogee FX signal chains in the effects rack for powerful and lightning fast mixing. And if you're using Apogee Ensemble or Element Series interface, link Apogee FX Rack in your DAW to hardware DSP effects in your Apogee interface while recording to experience near zero latency and simple operation with dual path monitoring. So, pretty cool. All right, so let's check out these plugins a little bit here. I think I've got Logic open. I do. This was from a video I just did for a user comment. Let me just get rid of this stuff here. All right, so that's the effects rack. Here we go. Okay, so Apogee effects. We can open up the EQP1A. This, of course, is just a Pultec EQ. But there you go. It's opening without the effects rack. You know exactly what you'd expect to see from the interface, and then of course it shows me exactly what I have on that track loaded. I'll just open each of these so we can take a look here. The MEQ5. If you're not familiar with this plugin, this is similar to the traditional Pultec. If you're not familiar with the traditional Pultec, you've got essentially two ends of the spectrum being affected. You've got low frequency all the way up to 100 hertz and below that you can boost and attenuate. And something that's made the Pultec famous is the interesting things that happen to the sound when you boost and attenuate at the same time. There's different cues that shapes from the boost and the attenuation that when they're used together can sound really, really good. The bandwidth, of course, that's your cue from sharp to broad. And then the same thing with the boost and attenuation in the high frequency. And the high frequency ranges from 3 kilohertz up to 16. And then that's for the boost. And then for the attenuation, you set that at either 5, 10, or 20 kilohertz. Pretty cool. All right. So that's the traditional Pultec. This is really cool. I like this plugin a lot. This is the MEQ5. Sorry, I'm bumping my microphone here. The mid-range here, we've got starting at 200 up to 1,000. This is for a peak, and then for a dip, you've got 200 to 7,000. And then a peak from 1.5 to 5K. So this could be a really useful plugin for a lot of applications. I'm sure I'll be using that a lot. And what else have we got here? The mod comp, the mod compressor, the mod EQ, the Opto 3A. If you've used these plugins in the effects rack, you're used to what you're seeing here. And, I'm not going to get into all of, making this like a plugin review necessarily. Just pretty cool announcement that these are now available natively without the effects rack. There's always so many different ways to do something. If I wanted to have the effects rack, like the email said, housing some special configuration channel strip essentially of those plugins. Yeah, I could do that. In Logic, there's other ways to do that as well. I could save a channel strip. I could load, any number of different plugins on a channel and save that as a channel strip. And, so many DAWs now have the ability to do that, possibly even Pro Tools. So pretty cool. But anyway, super short video. If anybody has any interest in hearing these things, I could run some audio through them and we could go down that path. But more of an announcement that these are available natively and just pretty cool. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.